Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jay, and we are doing another broadcast right here on YouTube, of all places, from Inside Out. And I'm your host, Jay. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I do appreciate it. As you guys know, I got a couple topics I want to talk about tonight that regard prison-related issues. Now, again, I think I did a show on this not too long ago, but as you guys remember, believe it or not, my Jaybird Facebook page got deleted. So that's including all of my live shows and everything I've done information-wise when it comes to our prisons are no longer there. I'm not going to get into the details of why that happened. Just know that I got, again, my fair share of haters that are doing everything in their power, including Facebook, to shut me down. All right. So now I have to turn to YouTube, as all things, to get my message across and to do what I was doing on Facebook. All right. So a little message to my haters, believe it or not, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm going to do. I'm still going to get the message out. And that's that. All right. So all your negative comments and whatnot, I'll just delete them. For the ones that do care, for the ones that do support me and understand where I'm coming from as a whole, you're much appreciated. All right. So before I get started in my topics, I want everyone to know that I've moved, as you guys can probably tell. I no longer live in Pensacola. I live close to a small town called Ocala. I believe I said that right. Ocala. Anyways, it's more in the central part of Florida. But in any event, I'm living with a good friend named Debbie Sapp, and we will be staying here, you know, for I don't know how long, but we're going to stay here for a little while to get ourselves back on track. All right. So all credit and whatnot goes to her and letting her become part of her house or her family. And I do very much appreciate that if she's watching and listening. All right. Before I get started, I want you all to know how this works. Now, if you not belong to my channel, I suggest you guys subscribe to this channel, like this channel, and hit that notification bell right next to the subscribe button. All right. That way you guys will know when I upload a new video and put it up on YouTube, so you guys can watch me and continue to get, I should say, excuse me, great insight and information from our prisons. All right. So topic number one I'm going to hit on real quick, guys. It's called Women's Mass Incarceration, the Whole Pie for 2019. And this is an updated poll or information for 2019. I think it's very telling and very interesting as a whole for you guys to see this. All right. So once this is uploaded and you guys watch this, please share this video, because somewhere around this great country of ours, it's going to be useful for someone. All right. And I give you guys information and tools to use when you got incarcerated loved ones. All right. So here's the topic and here's the information. And I'm going to share this with you right now. With a growing public attention to the problem of mass incarceration, people want to know about women's experience with incarceration. How many women are held in prisons, jails, and other correctional facilities in the United States? That's a great question. And it goes on saying this. And why are they there? Is another great question. How is their experience different from men's? Oh, and by the way, real quick, if you guys know the answer to some of these questions I'm reading off, put them in the comments section. All right. I'm curious on your answers. It says here, while these are important questions, finding those answers requires not only disentangling the country's overlapping criminal justice system, but also unearthing the frustrating, hard to find, and often altogether missing data on gender. All right. And we're all dealing with that issue to a certain extent too. All right. This report provides a detailed view of the 231,000 women and girls incarcerated in the United States and how they fit into the even broader picture of correctional control. See, folks, it's all about control. That's all it is. All right. It goes on saying this. We pull together data from a number of government agencies and calculate the breakthrough, or breakdown, if you will, of women held by each correctional system by specific offenses. So it depends on the offense, but still, you get the idea where I'm coming from on this. The report produced in collaboration with the ACLU. A lot of you know who that is. All right. And basically it has a section, or a pie section, of what's going on. I'm going to briefly show you that right now, of the number or staggering information. All right, and I'm going to read it off to you so you guys see that. There's the pie. I don't know if it's going to be upside down for you guys or not. If it is, I apologize. I'll read it off to you anyways. Local jails. And then again, this is just local jails, folks. All right. Says 101,000 women are locked up in local jails alone. All right. State prisons. 99,000 are locked up in state prisons. And keep in mind, this is not men we're talking about right now. This is women only. Youth under 18 or above 18 years old. That's what youth means. 6,600 of your child or children are locked up in some type of jail or prison. 6,600. All right. And that's not a very big number, but still, that's ridiculous. And there's no excuse for kids to be locked up. I don't know what happened with that. Either parents, failed as a parent, or they just got caught up in the hype with the way our world is today. But again, that's very sad but staggering number. Immigration detention. There's another one. You all know what that is. 7,700 women. Again, this is just women, not men included. Federal prisons and jails, 16,000. Are you hearing these numbers? These are just outrageous, ridiculous amount of numbers that we're dealing with in our jails, prisons, and other places. All right. In the federal prisons and jails, the convicted are only 12,500. 12,500 individuals or women locked up. That's just, these numbers are too big. They need to be lower. It's ridiculous. But again, it's all about the money. It's all about the profit. And we all know how it works. All right, guys, I've said it once before. I'll say it again. The prison system itself, or the system itself, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. All right, guys, multi-billion-dollar. It's mind-boggling how much money is in our system. All right. But you guys get the idea. I mean, this is just state prisons, local prisons, youth jails, immigration detentions, facilities, if you will, and federal and state prison. I mean, this is just ridiculous. All right. And me personally, we got to do what we got to do, guys, and try to get these numbers down and get some of these people out, especially if they're just petty crimes. I'm going to touch on that here in just a minute. So it goes on saying this, folks. It says here, in stark contrast to the total incarcerated population, where the state prison system holds twice as many people as are held in jails, more incarcerated women are held in jails than in state prisons, as we will explain. All right. The outsized role of jails has serious consequences for incarcerated women and their families. Can you believe that? Sad. And it goes on saying this, guys. It says women's incarceration has grown at twice the pace. So it's even growing faster than the men's. All right. And let's see. I lost my spot. Let's see. So it goes on again. Okay, I'll say that again. It says women's incarceration has grown at twice the pace of men's incarceration in recent decades, and has disproportionately been located in local jails. See, you see what I'm saying, folks? This is uncalled for. This is shocking. This is no call for this. All right. You can see what we're up against. You can see what we're dealing with. It goes on every single day, folks. All right. the data needed to explain exactly what happened, when and why does not yet exist. So we don't even have an answer, really, technically, why this happens. Not least because the data on women has long been obscured, all right, by the larger scale of men's incarceration, even as this report is updated every year. So this report, guys, that I'm reading off to you guys is updated every year. So the numbers are going to be different from what I just told you just now. What a quinky dink, huh? We got to do something about this. We got to make change. Change needs to be done tomorrow. All right. Change needs to be done yesterday. I mean, I can't stress this enough. Change needs to be done now. Okay. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. There's no excuse for it. All right. So it goes on saying it is not a direct tool for tracking changes in women's incarceration over time because we are forced to rely on the limited sources available, which are neither updated regularly nor always compatible across the years. See what I'm saying? Particularly in light of this of the gender specific data and disgraded numbers presented here are an important step to ensure that women are not left behind in the effort to end mass incarceration. Again, that's another major thing that we're trying to fight against right now, folks, is mass incarceration. How to get rid of it, what to do to change it so it stops. Because again, these inmates are sleeping on the floor. These inmates are sleeping next to the toilet. And you guys understand how that is. That's disgusting just in itself. All right. So, and I'm just going to kind of whiz through this real quick because, again, I got another topic I want to hit on real quick before my show ends. All right, and it goes, a staggering number of women who are incarcerated are not even convicted. So, you see, they're sitting there waiting for their trials or their court hearings. They haven't even gotten charged yet on what they're supposed to do or what's going to happen to their fate. All right? And it goes on saying this, a quarter of women who are behind bars have not yet had a trial. Moreover, 60%, again, do the math, 60% of women in jails under local control have not been convicted of a crime and are waiting trial. All right. Now, I get a lot of questions like, why do trials take so long? Well, because if you sign that little piece of paper when you're in court, you basically signed your speedy right trials away. If you don't know your rights when it comes to that or any court procedures, then you're going to sit and play the waiting game under their accord. All right? Because we do have the right to speedy trials, but once you sign that piece of document, whatever it may be, even your attorney is supposed to tell you this stuff, but they don't. Nobody in the court system tells you this stuff. All right? So, and the reason why they sit in there is because they add continuances after continuances trying to get the case resolved. All right? I'm proof of that. I sat in county jail where I'm from for 18 months trying to clear my name. And I got sick and tired of sitting in there, and they finally came at me with a deal. I'll explain more of that later down the road if I need to. But you guys get the idea what's going on. The system is not fair. It's not just. There's nothing good about the system. The system itself needs a major overhaul, ladies and gentlemen. No kidding, and that's real talk. All right. Here's some more great telling information, folks. Aside from women under local authority or state and federal agencies also pay local jails. See? Pay local jails to house an additional 12,500 women, for example, ICE or ICE, and the U.S. Marshals, which have fewer dedicated facilities for their detainees. Go figure. But they always say, oh, it's a budget crisis, or it's this, or it's that. And I just got done doing a show not too long ago before it got deleted of the staggering amount of money that the prisons and jails and other incarcerated facilities bring in. Here's the number. It's almost at $200 billion. I said that correctly. Billion with a B. All right. We bring in, look, there's more money coming into the system or the prison systems than you guys can ever imagine. And it's all your tax dollars feeding into it. All right? So yeah, real talk there, guys. For example, and it goes on saying, let's see, with local jails to hold roughly 5,600 women. So the number of women physically held in jails is even higher. See? So again, I'm reading off this information. This is 2019 updated data. All right. You guys want what I'm reading off to you? I will put the this link or the page that I'm reading off to you on my site, and you guys can look at it after the show is over. All right. And here's another great piece of data. I'm only do a little bit of this. Jails, 114,000 women are in jail right now. And again, that's just before their trials or court hearings. I mean, it's the numbers are ridiculous, and they need to get lowered. And we're going to work on that as much as we can. But anyways, you guys understand what I'm talking about. There's too much to read here for my length of my show. But again, if you guys want to read more of this information in its entirety, let me know, and I will send the link onto my Facebook page later this evening. All right. So there's that, folks. All right. So now I have one more topic I want to hit real quick. And I think you guys are going to be amazed with this too. And I think I also did a show on this, but because it got deleted, I might as well redo it. And again, this is a 2018 poll, so it's 1 year old, but who cares? It gives you an idea. All right. The topic is, folks, being that we're talking about incarceration, here it is. Incarceration versus education. Yeah, that's no kidding right there. America spends more on its prison system than it does on public schools. Amazing, huh, guys? And California is the worst. So again, the state of California is the worst place. All right. And it goes on saying, I think this is the numbers. Let me go ahead and read some of these numbers real quick. It says here, most American states spend more on their prisons than they do on education. And that's sad because, again, you know, it's not fair. The kids need education. We all need education, right? But they rather spend the money on our prison systems as a whole than the schools. And it's sad. And California, sad to say, is the worst, investing $64,642 per prisoner compared to $11,495 per student. A $53,146 difference in spending priorities. Did you guys hear that? That's staggering numbers. Again, I'll say it one more time. California is the number one right now, being the worst state of all states of doing this. And it says right here, ladies and gentlemen, $64,642 per prisoner. That's per prisoner. All right? There's your money coming out of your taxes, coming out of your pocket just for California. Wow. And it goes on saying this, compared to $11,495 basically dollars per student. Now, if you're good with your math, there you go. A $53,146 difference in spending priorities. And there you go. The reason include an incarceration rate that has tripled over the past 3 decades. The higher the cost of caring for people in prisons, 24 hours a day, and higher number of workers required to operate a prison, which I still call BS, or BS if you will, for the simple fact that, like I said, it's almost $200 billion coming into our system from people like you. You see what I'm saying? New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Rhode Island round out the top states spending more on prisons. And I'm pretty sure, even though this is a 2018 poll, I'm pretty sure damn near all 50 states here in the United States are close of being on this list. All right, let's not kid each other. All right, and again, that's just because for some reason, especially if it's, again, the private industry or private prisons, a private company, this is what happens. So I guess the only way we can stop this, from what I can gather and tell, is we need to get rid of the private sector or private prison setting. All right? I believe that will be the issue. And again, Americans account for 4.4% of the global population. I'll say that again. Americans account for 4.4% of the global population. But 22% of the world's prison population. California spends $8.6 billion a year. That's California alone, not any other state here in our great country of ours. More than any other state, averaging $64,642 per inmate. It's also the state with the biggest gap between education and prison spending, paying just $11,495 per student for a difference of $53,146. All right, I just said it. Several factors play into the imbalance, including U.S. incarceration rates, which have more than tripled over the past 3 decades. Gee, I wonder why. What can we do to change that, folks? Even crime rates have fallen. According to this 2018 data poll, crime rates have fallen. But then yet, I really don't know if that's true or not, in my personal opinion. Maybe you guys can put some great insight information in the chat box below on this channel and tell me if that's an accurate statement or not. During the same period, government spending on K through 12, that's kindergarten through 12th grade, education increased by 107%, according to a report by the U.S. Department of Education. Interesting facts, huh, folks? And there's a little thing here, if it'll let me, it won't let me do it for some reason. Okay, anyways, another factor in the spending gap between education and incarceration is that it takes more workers to run a prison than a school. Really? Don't get me started on that. With each American teacher supervising an average of 20.8 students, while prison guards oversee an average of 5.3 prisoners. All right? Well, really? So this is their excuse, right, guys? Again, we almost have $200 billion rolling into our prison system as I speak, and you can't hire more staff? Really? Again, I don't believe the bull crap or the hype, and neither should you. In addition, it costs more to house and feed prisoners 3 times a day compared to school children who do not require the same 24-hour oversight. Well, let me say this to add to that. Some of the students in our great country of ours in these schools don't get fed at all because, believe it or not, some of them can't even afford the gosh dang lunch bill. All right? I mean, I read somewhere not too long ago, folks, on Facebook, a teacher got arrested for feeding a student that couldn't afford the lunch. And she got fired for it. That is what is wrong and how everything is so backwards. All right? No student, especially a child that's trying to get an education, should go hungry. Right? That's just my personal opinion. But they're complaining because the prisoners, are going through something similar. And they are. The food's disgusting. You all know that. Anyways, while it may seem that prison spending and education spending are disparate, experts have drawn correlations between the two. For example, about 66% of state prisons inmates haven't graduated high school. Whose fault's that? And young black men aged 20 through 24 without a high school diploma are more likely to be in jail or prison than they are to have a job, according to U.S. Department of Education. Gee, I wonder why. Have you seen our school settings lately? I mean, when these kids go to school, when they go to school, are they even getting an education nowadays? Don't get me started on that either. They always want to point the finger at the child's fault. Really? I blame the education as a whole, period. Our education system as a whole has failed, not the student. All right? And maybe I'll touch base on that next week to give you some more detailed information on that. I like how everybody likes to point fingers at the problem when the problem's right there in front of your face. Real talk. New York had the second largest gap. Again, New York, big city. New York had the second largest gap between per student and per prisoner cost and spends more on each than any other state. Here are the numbers. Spending per student in New York is $22,366 compared to the $69,355 it invests per inmate, for a difference of $46,989 of your money. Do I need to say more, folks? So again, folks, it just goes on telling more and more information. You guys can see what we're up against. We're fighting the biggest beast, or the system. It is so big. I mean, it runs so deep that there's no bottom to it. All right. If you were to put the corrupt system in our deepest ocean right now, it wouldn't even be able to touch bottom. That's how big this problem is. All right? And the only way this is going to change, folks, is that we need to go and talk to the appropriate people, and you know who I'm talking about. All right? We all need to talk to the special people and make change. All right? Because the corrupt aren't going to do it. All right? And we sure, as I can sit here and tell you, we have a lot of corrupt individuals in our system. Governors, politicians, you name it. They're there. They don't care about you. They don't care about the inmates. They don't care about reform. All they care about, folks, is that good old mighty dollar and how much they can put in their pockets. All right? So, folks, I got one more piece of information before I get out of here. And of course, this is coming from a good friend of mine, Debbie Sapp. And I'm going to show you just some great shocking information where this is coming from. All right. I'm not going to get into detail with it because, again, technically, this is not supposed to even, we're not even supposed to have this information. But you guys can understand a great example, if you will, where this tax dollars of yours is going. All right. Now, this is a document right here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I'm going to read it off anyways. This is where, this is what's going on with our prisons and where your tax dollars are going. All right. This is basically a laundry list of new items and stuff of that nature that our prisons are supposed to give these people, because again, our prisons are ran by us. All right. I can't stress that enough. The government thinks that the government owns us, or owns the prisons, owns this. The government runs you. Wrong. They don't run you. We run them. As long as we're paying taxes, those prisons in all 50 states belong to you and me. All right. I can't stress that enough. Case in point. These individuals were supposed to get all these new items, such as blankets, pants, shirts, boxers, Crocs, those are those shoes, laundry, string, mattresses, pillows, sheets, socks, towels, t-shirts, washcloths, you name it, on and on and on. There's the prices, the total, with all of this coming in from your tax dollars, out of your paycheck, out of whatever you spend taxes on. Ladies and gentlemen, the total is $114.48. Did you think any of these individuals got this down the list? And there's the price. You think anybody of that nature got any of those items from your tax dollars? Hell to the no, they did not. And again, I don't know if I'm going to read off what prison this is coming from or any of that nature. but maybe I'll give more detail if I get the green light to do so. But out of due respect, I'm not going to give this information out because, again, this information is not supposed to be in our hands. People or certain individuals, including DOC, want it back, and my good friend Debbie Sapp is not going to cough it up anytime soon, which I respect. So there you go, guys. You can see what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. Not just me, but any other prison activists that are dealing with this crap in all 50 states. You guys want change, stand up, speak up, and let's not be silent about this anymore, guys. Because again, our taxes are being wasted and not even going into proper places where they're supposed to go. Like new beds, new mattresses, clothes, shirts, boxers, shoes, and the list goes on and on. Do those inmates get that stuff? From that piece of document, from what I'm reading, evidently not. All right? So with that said, I appreciate you guys tuning in here tonight. Again, I'm in a new location, as you guys can tell. Things are going to be a little different until I get more, changed up a little bit, depending on what's going to happen. This is where you're going to see me right now for right now. So bear with me. But I'm thankful for all of you that are continuing to support me in this great cause. And thank you for standing up next to me and making this change. All right? Because again, without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And without you guys doing what you're doing, we wouldn't be putting a major dent, if you will, in some of this corrupt prison corruption that's going on right now. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right? Again, we got to get the corrupt individuals out of our system. The Capitol. All that fun jazz, all right? So I believe there's a lot of stuff in the works that are in the works right now, such as rallies and you name it, da-da-da-da. Once I get more detail on what's going to happen, you might be seeing me next in a rally somewhere in a different state, of course. But if you need me, I'm here. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And again, thanks so much, guys. I do appreciate you guys doing what you're doing and sticking behind my side, even though Facebook and the rest of my haters are doing what they can to shut me down. As you can clearly see, folks, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So screw Facebook, screw my haters, screw everybody. You can't shut this mouth up unless I'm 6 foot under somewhere. All right? That's the only time I'll be quiet. All right? So with my good friend Debbie Sapp and all of you out there, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next week right here from Inside Out. I'm your host, Jay. Good night, everybody.